Hi friends! This week in writing, we are going to explore opinion writing. So an opinion can be different from your friends. So I can have an opinion that's different from yours. So to start with, I am going to read you a book about a boy and an ant. And while I'm reading this, I want you to think in your head if you think the boy should squish the ant or save the ant. My book today is called Hey Little Ant, and it's by Philip and Hannah Hoos. And so you see our boy and that little ant. So remember, we're trying to think if he should squish the ant or save the ant. Hey little ant. The ant and the boy. Hey little ant. Kid. Hey little ant down there in the crack. Can you hear me? Can you talk back? See my shoe? Can you see that? Well, now it's going to squish you flat. So there's that teeny little ant. Ant, please, oh please don't squish me. Change your mind and let me be. I'm on my way with a crumb of pie. Please, oh please don't make me die. There's the ant. They really zoomed in so we can see him. Kid, anyone knows that ants can't feel. You're so tiny you don't look real. I'm so big and you're so small. I don't think it'll hurt at all. That big kid, and then do you see that teeny tiny ant down there? Ant! But you are a giant, and giants can't know how it feels to be an ant. Come down close. I think you'll see that you are very much like me. Kid, are you crazy? Me like you? I have a home and a family too. You're just a speck that runs around. No one would care if my foot came down. Ant, oh big friend, you are so wrong. My nest mates need me because I am strong. I dig our nests and feed baby ants too. I must not die beneath your shoe. Kid, but my mom says ants are rude. They carry off our picnic food. They steal our chips and breadcrumbs too. It's good if I squish a crook like you. Ant, hey, I'm not a crook, kid. Read my lips. Sometimes ant need crumbs and chips. One little chip can feed my town. Oh, please, don't make your shoe come down. Kid, but my friends squish ants each day. Squishing ants is a game we play. They're looking at me. They're listening too. They all say I should squish you. Oh, Ant, I can see that you're big and strong. Decide for yourself what's right and wrong. If you were me and I were you, what would you want me to do? Do you see that little kid? Should the ant get squished? Should the ant go free? It's up to the kid, not up to me. We'll leave the kid with the raised up shoe. What do you think the kid should do? The end. So I love that story because the ending is really up to us. And this is where we're going to practice organizing our thoughts so then we can make an educated opinion. So I want you to come with me over to the board so we can explore our options. Now that we're at the board, we are going to make a thinking map to help us organize our thoughts before we make an opinion. So I have made a tree map. My tree map has our title, Hey Little Ant, and then our question, what should the kid do? So we're going to focus on two options. The first option, which Miss Ludata likes to call Team Kid, is the option that we should squish the ant, or the kid should squish the ant. The next one is Team Ant, and that is where the kid should save the ant. So we're going to think of reasons why the kid should squish him and why the kid should save him. And then based off of our tree map, you'll be able to make an educated opinion. So thinking back on the book that we read, Hey Little Ant, I want your brain to just think about why you think the ant should squish him, or what reasons they gave in the book why the kid should squish him. So I'm going to have you think for a second and then come back and join me. Now you should have had time to think about why the boy should squish the ant. While you were thinking, I wonder if I came up with any of the ideas you all thought of. So I'm going to go over what I came up with. Now, if your idea is not on my chart, that's okay. And hold on to it because you might need it in your writing this week. So reasons that I came up with why the child should squish him that came from the book and my schema about ants. So one reason is ants are pests. Ants are so tiny. Can they really feel anything? Ants eat food. They eat our food. Some ants can bite. That came from my schema. His friends, the boy's friends, make it a game to squish ants. And he might go into the boy's house, so he needs to squish the ant so he doesn't go into his house. So those are the reasons I came up with. You might have came up with some of the same and some that are different, and that is okay. Now I want you to think about Team Ant, why the boy should save him. So just like we did before, I'm going to give you a couple seconds to think about it. If someone's in the room with you, tell them one of your reasons why we should save the ant. And then come back to me and we can see what we came up with together. All right. I hope you came up with a couple reasons on your own why the boy should save the ant. Let's look over what I came up with. My first was that ants have families and friends. It said that in the book. I also said that ants have feelings. Ants are part of nature. That's from my schema, and I know that we should not hurt nature if we don't have to. I also know that ants only eat a tiny bit of food. In the book, it said that a whole chip would feed their whole family or their whole colony. And I know that we can eat more than one chip by ourselves. I said that he needs to go back and help feed the babies in his family. It said that in the book. So those were the reasons I came up with why the boy should save him and not squish him. Now your job for today is to think about both sides. Team Ant, saving him. Team Kid, squishing him. And I want you to make an opinion. So I want you to think if you're Team Ant or if you're Team Kid. And then tomorrow, we're going to begin our writing. So remember, your job tonight is to pick Team Ant or Team Kid.